recreationally, I strap on the fins and I go any possible opportunity. If I'm close to anywhere that would, provide a decent dive, I certainly make a massive effort to do that. And to make a movie about it, to be around the stunt guys that I know, Al Poppleton, his team, all of the New Zealand lads, and be in and around all this high-tech equipment and rebreathers and do all the training and be out in the ocean and, drag behind a boat. Funnily, I love all that kind of stuff. I love doing things that require, a little bit of focus and a little bit of adrenaline. It gives me my sense of achievement. I enjoy working with smart people. I've worked with a lot of people that ain't so smart. So when I do get to be surrounded by, such an amazing set of people that, there's Paul Webster, who's a brilliant producer. You've got Chris Menges, who's a great DP. You've got a fabulous production designer, a great costume designer. It's all those things are very important when you come to, to make a film. You need, you're only as good as the team around you, and the people that you're working with Vicky McClure and, Agatha. It's that kind of environment is so important on the quality of the end product. Because I've got a big ego and I want to try and prove to myself that I can do it. I love trying to push myself. I used to do high diving years ago, and I was sort of seeking out that adrenaline, and a lot of the stunts or whatever you call them that we get to do, if there's if you're pushing your skill set a little bit, or if you're trying to do something that you're not sure whether you can do, I think there's a great reward to that by getting to do it. So I've always had a great kick out of doing things. Yeah, the whole time I was doing this, I was, working in the streets. I used to sell perfume and jewellery. Yeah. So it was like I got rid of the diving and I just kept continuing to do my only way that I knew how to earn money. You don't single people out.
Yeah.
It's you pull a pitch. You just talk about how you're going to give, reduce things and how you're going to give them a bargain. And how you're going to, it makes sense to. It's basically you're pulling a pitch. There's like a stage where you pull the pitch, basically get people's attention. You create a crowd, and before you start any of the sale technique, watch what I'm going to do here. Squeeze in, left leg, right leg. Your body follows. They call it walking. If you've got no money on you now, you'll be crying tears as big as October cabbages. Here, left leg, right leg. Things that will go for pounds will go for pennies. Forget about what they cost. Forget about what they're worth. If you're with me here and now, you'll be absolutely getting a bargain. Here, squeeze in. So you're just rattling away. Have you heard of Cartier, madam? Well, forget about what these cost. In the normal way of trade would obviously cost you a lot of cash. Here, while Mappin was in his web, I was in his warehouse last night, 3 a.m. Here, squeeze in. And you're just rattling away with silly little things like that. And then people start to look and listen. And then you start to get into the details of the sale. And then, you take a rope chain and then you start to reduce it. Talk about where, how, people say, you're always trying to get people relaxed. So you're always trying to do something with a little bit of a joke and a jest. So you're always trying to, make people feel at ease.
So what's the furthest you pushed yourself to do like a stunt?
I push myself the same. I push myself to the limits of getting it done. So whatever the stunt is or whatever's required, you push yourself to maximise that happening in a safe way and making it look real. So you're always pushing yourself. You have to get the adrenaline going, and you have to get physical. Otherwise, it just looks fake. I'd like to do an action comedy. Something along those lines. It's just finding the right script. I get sent a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's not right. So you have to make a choice. Do you do it? Do you not do it? So if the right thing comes my way, I'm well open for doing something. I don't know. It's some people have the thing with a director, they have to have a vision, right? And it's sometimes not in line with what the script is or your perception of what the script is. There's a lot of moving parts with a script, with a movie as a finished movie. You've got to the vision of what you might anticipate it to be can be completely different by the time it's finished. And you have to accept that. I mean, at the end of the day, we shouldn't be moaning because we're hired actors. You come in, you get paid, shut your mouth, do your work and go home. It should be a little bit of that, but sometimes you want to try and get involved and you try and collaborate and get things done and try and, help with the creativity. There's no clear-cut line about you being an actor, come in, say these lines and then go home, or come in and collaborate and let's work this out and do things and make the best of it. You're always anxious if you're going to do something that you haven't done before or if you're going to test yourself. But that's the reward. If you can, go through that in a successful way, there's obviously some reward there. But, it's all down to experience, I don't think I could have done something as heavy as this in my former years. I didn't have the experience to draw from.
Life has a way of throwing challenges our way, whether it's physical exhaustion, mental burnout, or emotional distress. These obstacles come with no warning, no apology, and certainly no guarantee of relief. That's the problem. It's how you respond to it. No matter how prepared you think you are, what truly matters isn't the hardship itself. It's easy to think you're broken when everything around you is falling apart. But remember this, how you respond will define your journey. Every person, at some point, will encounter their breaking point. That moment when you feel like you can't take one more hit, you feel shattered, like a million pieces scattered on the floor. But here's the truth, it's in that breaking where the potential for growth lies. The loss, the stress, even when everything in you says to quit. And if you can push through, even when it feels impossible, you'll discover a version of yourself that's tougher, wiser, and more resilient than you could ever imagine. You see, every time you rise above adversity, you become a little more unbreakable. It's easy to let circumstances define who you are. It's easy to look at your situation, whether it's a financial crisis, a health issue, or a personal failure, and think that it's the end of the road. But your circumstances don't have the power to define you unless you let them. Your response to those circumstances is what truly defines you, but it's up to you to decide whether you'll stay down or get back up. And getting back up isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. Remember that you have the strength to keep going. It might take everything you've got, but that's what makes the victory so sweet. The stronger you become, the harder the battle, the sweeter the triumph. So when you're facing adversity, remind yourself that you're tougher than you think. You've been through hard times before, and you've come out stronger. This time will be no different. You will rise from this, just like you've risen before, and in those moments when it feels like there's no way out, it's just beginning. The battle you're in now is a chance to show the world what you're made of. It's a chance to prove to yourself that no matter how many times you fall, you will always rise again. It's a chance to show everyone around you that you won't quit, no matter how hard things get. Life is hard, yes, but you are stronger. You have staying power, and no matter what happens, you won't give up. You will stand firm, you will keep fighting, and you will rise above. It's easy to feel like the world is closing in on you. You might feel isolated, lost, and unsure if there's a way out, but here's the truth that you need to hold on to. Your greatest strength lies not in avoiding the battle, but in deciding to face it head on. But that doesn't mean it's the end. There are others who have walked this path before you, and their stories are a testament to what's possible when you refuse to give up. Your fight is not just your own. Remember, pain is temporary, the struggle is temporary. What lasts is the strength and wisdom you gain from pushing through. Keep going, because you are capable of achieving greatness, and no challenge is too great for you to overcome. As you stand at the threshold of a new day, remember this. The battle is never over until you decide to stop fighting. And you, my friend, are not the type to stop. The difficulties you face today will pass, but the strength, courage, and wisdom you gain will stay with you forever. Life is hard, but that's what makes it so beautiful.